Determining a, say, superior gun in the Call of Duty franchise, even dating back to the original Call of Duties, picking out a gun that kind of ousts out every other gun in the Call of Duty franchise, like I said, would be a very, very difficult feat. I mean, there's so many different categories of guns in Call of Duty. There's submachine guns, there's shotguns, there's snipers, assault rifles, SMGs, not sure if I said SMGs yet, but like I said, it would be difficult to pick out the best gun out of every single Call of Duty. I mean, there's probably has been hundreds of guns. I'm not sure the exact number, but I can easily say there has been over 100 different guns in the Call of Duty franchise, again, dating back to the first Call of Duty all the way into the modern Call of Duty Ghost. But personally, I feel that there is one gun that kind of stands out the most compared to every other Call of Duty, comparing the Call of Duties over the decades, that just really stood out the most to me. The gun that kind of put every other gun to shame in its category, in its game, and that is the MP40, the gun you are watching on screen right now from Call of Duty World at War. Although I will say it is not the most powerful weapon to ever be introduced in the Call of Duty franchise, I feel like it is one of the most balanced weapons in the game and one of the most difficult weapons to use in the game, but if you can use it right, it is probably one of the greatest guns to ever be introduced into the Call of Duty franchise. And the reason I say this is because the MP40, back in the day, again, for World at War, I mean, if the MP40 was in, say, Black Ops 2 or Call of Duty Ghosts, of course it would not have been that good, because people die a little bit quicker now in Call of Duty than they used to. In Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty 4, people took a little bit longer, I would say, to die in the game. But like I said, for the MP40 in World at War, the gun was very, very powerful, and this is when Juggernaut was around. This is when Call of Duty 4 Juggernaut was around, and World at War brought Juggernaut back. And you needed a gun that kind of put Juggernaut to shame, because there was two main perks in that category, and that would be Stopping Power and Juggernaut. And these two perks went hand to hand. People would use Stopping Power, and then the other half of the people would use Juggernaut. And you really needed a gun that kind of got the job done, a gun that kind of took out both categories. And to me, that was the MP40. And the reason I say why this gun was so difficult to use is because the MP40 bounces around absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's like it's a little 5th grader's birthday party and everybody's in the bouncy house and it's just going everywhere. That's what this gun reminds me of, and it took a while to get used to this gun. It took a while to get a feel for this gun, but once you did, like I said, the MP40 was a superior gun to, I feel, any other gun that was introduced. And this is a really hard thing to say. I mean, if we look back in time, if we look at Call of Duty 4, you got the AK-47. If you look at Modern Warfare 2, we got the ACR. If we look at Black Ops 2, we got the PDW. So it's very, very hard to say. And I've actually done a video before on the top Call of Duty guns in franchise history. And this is where I took 2 guns from each Call of Duty game. And this was a lot easier to do because picking 2 guns from each game is pretty easy, because everybody has their favorite guns and every game has those guns that are abused. For example, again, Modern Warfare 2, the ACR, Black Ops 2, the PDW, and probably the AN-94 is closely behind that. So picking a gun overall is definitely hard to do, and you guys might disagree with me. You guys might disagree with my choice from the Call of Duty World at War MP40 gun. Maybe that's due to the fact that you didn't enjoy the gun. Maybe that's due to the fact that you didn't play Call of Duty World at War, and that leaves this open. Don't go disliking the video. Don't go hating on me because you're like, oh wow, the MP40, really, you chose that gun out of every single gun. So let me know, what do you guys feel is the best gun overall in Call of Duty franchise, Call of Duty history? What can you claim to be the #1 gun ever? I know it's hard. I know it's really, really hard to do, but I was going back, I was playing all these Call of Duties. I mean, I've been uploading some flashback gameplays like Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, and when I picked up the MP40 once again in World at War, it kind of brought back those memories. It brought back the memories on how good this gun really, really was. So let me know, like I said, down below, you guys, what is your favorite gun in Call of Duty history? Again, I know it's going to be a tough choice, and if you missed my Call of Duty top guns in Call of Duty history, I'll leave a link down in the description. I think I picked like 10 guns or 12 guns overall, so check that out. If we could get this video to 400 likes, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. And like always, you guys, thanks once again for tuning in. Thanks once again for everything, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.